freshman year, you make all Pac-10, but y'all lose to UConn.
Yeah.
You lose to UConn in the
Maya
Final
Moore
Four.
now?
Yeah, we lost in the first game.
Then sophomore year, you get back. This year, you Pac-10 Player of the Year, but now y'all get to the chip. UConn and Maya Moore them again.
That one was a hard one. That was the hardest one.
So tell me about that, but I also want to hear about junior year when y'all beat them and knocked them off and broke the 90-game win streak.
Yeah. So, I mean, there was so much history in the 4 years that I was there, Obviously, like coming into school, UConn was a top team. Tennessee was a top team. Notre Dame was up and coming. Yeah, I could have. But I went to Stanford. but that first year, a lot of my experience was like, eyes wide open, kind of like doe-eyed. I was very new to all of it. We go to the Final Four. I think it was in St. Louis. And I think it was in St. Louis. And I was just like, okay, cool. This is really big deal. Like, we got to try and win. And we played well the whole season to get to the Final Four. And I think that first year, I think that we were just playing too nervous. We were playing too nervous. They had a really great team. Yeah. They had Tina, they had Maya, they had Tiffany Hayes. Like, they had everybody. And so I think that was like a really big learning lesson, especially, not being on the team the year before when they went to the Final Four, which was actually kind of amazing because I was I don't know if they still do it. They had the WBCA and like All-American. So I was there.
Right.
When they were at the Final Four the year before. And so like I felt it, And the next year, I think, we kind of let ourselves down. And then we just kind of keep up this standard of excellence. And then my sophomore year, it was like, okay, cool. Like, we are vibing. Like, we're really coming out here. We're vibing. We're hooping. And it was tough because I think they said that year that might have been like the lowest scoring halftime of any Final Four. And it was like, I feel like at halftime we barely had any points. It was like either in the 20s or the 30s or something like that. We were
playing
up.
D out there. That's what it was.
Man, you're right. But it was that one was really heartbreaking because like we were up. It was so close. And Jane was actually playing on a broken foot. And so we ended up losing that one. And then we were just kind of like, man, we can't keep coming here and losing, Yeah. And I think that after that year, it was kind of like a real culture shift of like, hey, like we've done this 3 years in a row. Like there's a reason why we're in these positions. Yeah. And so the next year, that junior year was a really big year for me. Yeah. And that was also the first year I played with Chene. So Chene came to the team and she's sitting at home watching everything. I'm coming home telling her all these stories. And we have one of the hardest preseasons that I've ever experienced. And, we've had to play Tennessee, UConn. I think at the time we even played Xavier.
That's in the preseason?
Yeah, in the preseason. So we're like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And so we get to the UConn game. And at this point, this is my junior year. We haven't lost a game at home. Yeah. And so that's kind of what we're rocking with. Like, we've never lost a game in Maples. And I will never forget how we prepared for that game. Shanae was guarding Maya. And so, our practice squad, they did some amazing things. Like, they really personified each player, played like each player. And by the time we got to that game, Chene knew when Maya was gonna tie her shoe. Like, it was, she looked like a rabid dog out there. And it was just, that was probably one of the games where I was like, wow, like, this is basketball, like this is basketball, and people don't even know the preparation it takes
to get
to that, to execute the game plan, to deal with obstacles in the game, and we were able to maintain like our home game stand.
How crazy did the campus go when y'all? Cause I remember that it was on TV.
Yeah, it was
how
a
crazy
serious
was
game.
The whole campus and like the area, like for that night, days
huge.
following, and all of that. Like I know it was crazy.
Yeah, it was really, really crazy. I will say that we had amazing fans that would come in. Yeah, it was so loud in Maples. I want to say that Dr. Condoleezza Rice was at the game. Because she teaches at Stanford, and so. It was just one of those games that you'll never forget. And I loved it for the culture. I loved it for the culture for women's basketball.